had the talk about Endpoint and their journeys. They were very early adopters of the new maps that entered the pool. They were one of the first that really innovated the Vertigo style at one point or another. And I think they tried a similar thing with Ancient, but they've kind of fallen behind the curve. And we're actually diving straight into the game. We have an Ancient kickoff here in Group B, Heroic versus Endpoint, and we're going to see a fair amount of dualies being brought forward right off the bat here for Heroic. They'll start CT side, Endpoint, a very quick B play.
Yeah, listen, man, game starts at 6, so we got to get kicked off at 6. And, well, they will indeed go in thick and fast. The Julie's out for Cadian, though, looking to hold on to this B-bomb site. Started off well. They're trying to battle back in now. They've got to find the Julie's, though, and you can see this off angle. It is absolutely deadly, but he gets overwhelmed. Mighty Max on the entries, bringing it into a 3 versus 2. We've got a quick flank from Stown, though. However, Endpoint have put the brakes on. I think they're savvy to this fact. Again, going to go bursting back in, gaining a bit of information, and looks like they might try and hit A from mid.
Yeah, you know what? Screw it. Let's not worry about the flank. Let's just run it to the other site instead, because Heroic have made those rotations, and so it will be a vacant bomb site. Shush can get here in time to prevent easy temple access, and Crucial just gets plucked out. Surreal's already low HP, so this 2-on-2, very doable.
Yeah, it's super dangerous to give away that frag. Stown, again, has just been lurking, and he's the one unknown element. Where's he coming from? But he fluffs his chance, and Mighty Max actually spins around to take him out, and now it is just Shush. Low HP indeed in play, but he's got to find quick headies, and he can't get it done. Surreal with the off angle will take him down as Endpoint pick up the pistol.
Oh, that's going to be one of these big shortcomings of the dualies. It's not the most accurate set of pistols. You've got 2 in hand, so you can't really line up the shot quite so easily. And they're in a flanking position, had a real chance to bring that into that 2-on-1 where Heroic might have been able to use that numbers advantage. But instead, yeah, the dualies flank, not the best. I imagine we'll see that more and more as we go forward, especially with this new meta being implemented, more teams experimenting with those dualies. But Endpoint, kicking it off with a good start in the pistol. They're running it once again over towards B. The MAC-10 of Mirbit strikes first. And while they move on out, Mirbit went guy completely undetected. He lost so much HP in that early fight, and he still gets 2 more.
Bit ridiculous. Bit of madness. Absolutely what we're here for.
Just how does he get away with it?
I don't know. Surely can't be legal. Honestly. Flawless round, though, from Endpoint, at least so far, right? And I don't think they really have much intention of hunting these players down, a couple of low HP bars here and there, so it is somewhat dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll Heroic aren't really challenging or really containing them, setting up for these exits at all. So Endpoint can just get away with keeping 5 up if that's the path they decide to go for. They've already farmed up 3 kills on an SMG, so that's already money made. Well, we're keeping it light and breezy here on the side of Endpoint. They've gone with these fast B plays now 2 times over. Of course, last time over, they did slow things down when things got a little chaotic. But if they can get solid entries like this and somehow Mirbit is just in behind them, then things could go right very quickly. Of course, Endpoint always had the chance within this group to upset 1 or 2 of these teams. We weren't sure if that was ever going to come out with the addition, or I suppose the quick replacement that Mirbit had to be for them. This will be certainly a way to throw a little bit of a spanner in the works. I think everybody has Heroic chalked up to win this one, and on the anti-eco, doing a great job of keeping control of mid.
Some nice set rounds so far, isn't it, from Endpoint? We'll have to see what happens when they hit the brick wall, and of course when they come up against the strong rifle buy. Oh, fresh. Nerves maybe getting to him a little bit there as he jumps the gun with what could have been a nice flank to find 1 kill. Meanwhile, bomb's gone down. Shush chilling on the extremities. Just looking to hold here and maybe find himself an exit, but he... What's going on? Where's everybody?
It's looking a little empty.
Yeah, there is the one guy.
Oh my god.
Okay. He taps the bomb. Bro, you gotta just go for the hold in this scenario, surely. Looking for more damage, though. Refresh has found a kill onto Surreal. What is going on? There's no time, but my god, the damage out of nowhere is ridiculous. Holy hell. And maybe just a little bit of a taster of what Endpoint are in for in these future rounds.
I think getting caught a little bit asleep there.
Yes.
They really had no idea that he could have made his way in towards that back hole over at B so quickly. And this was going to be one of the worries that I was hoping to address, was that because those fights in middle ended up with, I think, both Crucial and Surreal on low HP, if those two players had died that much quicker, the threat into the defuse had come in there from Heroic, then, that actually almost turns into a very winnable round. But it's not recognized quite quick enough. Now into the gun round here for Heroic. They keep over that Galil that Shush recovered. And already the nades doing a lot of early damage. Endpoint brought down fairly low on players like Mirabit and Surreal. But control can be attained over at B. Meanwhile, the rest of Endpoint, look at where they're grouped up. They're making their way through the A holes. And no one is going to be home and in this site for Heroic.
Yeah, definitely not ideal here. A little bit of a weird kind of setup. Got to do something with this mid-aggression then. However, perfect round to contact in, isn't it?
It really
The
would be.
Endpoint have been doing their homework, but yeah, it looks like this, silent play in towards A is just magic. Again, going to be a bit surprised there's nobody home. They have lost that player, Surreal, on the lurk, but he gets a lot of information. I think he does some damage there as well to the likes of Stown and Refresh. So they can be pretty happy. And now, of course, the retake in full swing. This is not going to be easy for when you've got this difficult first rifle buy of a CT side. Only the one kit, low HP bars, and a severe lack of utility. So, and of course, the bomb just ticking down. They really need to start making moves. And if Endpoint aren't giving them the fights, then it just becomes a hell of a lot harder. Thomas will get pre-fired out. So it's looking good now with a solid man advantage. All going to be down to Mir, but he's good for one. And they just about make it in with the kit. Still, little close for comfort there on the Heroic side, but it does speak into that coordination on a last-second retake is just insane.
Yeah, really well orchestrated between the remaining players there from Heroic. Just that quick collapse. You could see Endpoint just fall like flies. Too many Heroic players all fighting simultaneously, especially with that bomb ticking so low. And Endpoint kind of get caught out in the open in a number of these positions. So, yeah, great retake overall there from Heroic, even with the somewhat minimal utility. They still had a few flashes and I think a couple of smokes to make that one a little bit more feasible, but they just used their bodies to blitz their way back into the site. There's Endpoint with that swimming start they got off to kind of for the rebuy, but Thomas is on a tech, and Cadian, already a pick and cheetah. That's a man down. Mirabit dropped nice and early. Seems like it's going to be kind of similar plays here from Endpoint. The players are slightly different, but with a bit of presence towards the back of middle, they could end up wrapping Red Room, threatening a bit of donut control. But another pick over at this B bomb site. Heroic, they're off to a flying start now and looking to really recover, get themselves into winning ways here on the CT side. But now there's this X factor. Surreal implementing himself into the Red Room. Could siphon rotations.
Good timing from Shu. Should get traded out here, and he will, although Refresh is there for the instant one. Meanwhile, as you said, Surreal's pushed in, getting aggressive. He's got 4 to find. It'd be nice to have a little bit of support here, but the double spray down makes it look doable. And that's very cleanly done as well. He takes minimal damage for it. I saw it in my mind's eye, Michael. Honestly, the way that they were lined up there on the Heroic side has now put this round into disarray. Refresh, holding an off angle, will get the clean headshot, and thank goodness for the life cycle of Heroic that he does.
Yeah, the repositioning there from Refresh, not just hovering on top of that bomb and sitting inside of Donut. Of course, he choked off one of the angles that he needed to with a smoke. So that's why Surreal tries to get the upper hand, reposition himself, and approach from a different angle. But Refresh just, first off, he found that quick spin in Donut, but then when called into clutch, is able to deliver quite nicely. So yeah, you're right. They do keep themselves in this position where they can look to close in on that gap, tie up this game. Kaden didn't win a round either. Oh my god, he's going for it.
Boo. Surreal. Spidey senses halfway there, didn't know he was behind him, but he knew something was up.
It's about time I checked this angle, but yeah, I've still been shot in the
here
back
a
of the head.
Too long now. Could be somebody behind me trying to knife me. Maybe I'll just take a little bit of a spin around.
It's a lot of timing for Crucial.
Yeah, this is crazy. If Tessus, doesn't check the angle, going to start to step back as well. Oh, as the contact flash comes in, he nearly caught out, but they've got 3 players ready and waiting on this B-bomb site. Seems like that's their logic to stack up B, and you can see why it really does pay off here. Not a single kill coming in for Endpoint as Heroic. Look, a great start from Endpoint. Some fantastic set rounds to get themselves up to the 3 nice and stress-free. But once the rifles have come in, as we were saying, as we always worry, Heroic look pretty unstoppable so far.
This is always going to be the bigger test. Of course, the pistol in the subsequent rounds won by Endpoint. So now that Heroic have got themselves into these rifles, putting up a much better defense. The retakes have looked pretty solid. All the early protocol utility has looked on point, finding frequent damage. Max is brought down to 31, and that tees it up nicely for Cadian. If not for the jump, it makes it a little bit awkward, but he almost escapes. He's cut off Crucial there to at least make sure that he cannot get into a safe haven. So it's a quick trade and a 4-on-4 that, once again, Endpoint making use of this open territory over at A. Refresh and Mirbit basically kissing.
This is filthy. This is all down to timing as well. It looks like Refresh might be able to get it. However, he was on the corner of the wall. Maybe it'll take him down. It's Shush with the double, though. Looking for a little more, and he'll get it. That A1S coming up big style. Great positioning, and now just Mirbit against 2. Certainly, again, not impossible with the low HP bar of Shush, but a little improbable. We'll see. They're very split. For the long range, going to check in. But of course, the way that these angles work on Ancient, sometimes holding with an AK, it's actually pretty damn beneficial. He's not ready for Shush on the right-hand side, but I feel like he's got a good enough angle to deal with this. Going to step out. Oh, my goodness. And the timing for Shush is ridiculously lucky. 4K comes in. The hard work of the early round pays off. However, that's the closest one we've had for a while.
Oh, another clutch where Heroic have been able to make use of just like this quick repositioning on that last player that ends up catching Endpoint out. Heroic being so mobile, even when they're in these positions that seem quite distraught. It's quite worrying there for Heroic. And while the stand-in and Mirbit look to stand out, unfortunately, falls a bit short. Heroic keep this streak rolling. Nice 4-0. And I'm loving some of the aggression that Cadian's been going for, but turning the wrong way, primed for the anti-flash, and instead it's a kill for Mirbit. A rifle could be recovered, but there's Tessus springing in for a couple of kills on the return. So things don't fall out of favor just yet over at B. In fact, that bomb is dropped outside of it. The rest of Endpoint just scrambled for mid control.
A1 has picked up. That's what they were waiting for here. Start down on the other side of the smoke, eventually able to spam through. It is traded by Thomas.
What?
He's getting flanked out, though. Will push through and just find another. This is absolutely ridiculous. Again, another close round that absolutely should not have come down to it. Surely Endpoint have got to win one, right? We've had 3 now that come down to a 1v1, 1 versus 3 at least. Surely. He's retrieved the bomb. The B-bomb side is open.
Shush has been a clever cookie, though, in the clutch. All right, nice and open. I'll have some space as well, but now it's all about reading where Shush is coming from. Thomas cannot afford a straight-up gunfight. He's too low HP to be trading bullets. And Shush has that smoke flash. He can force Thomas out into the open.
Doable. Very doable. They're going to meet each other as well. Thomas hidden away. This might be the perfect position if he gets the timing on it. Shush has walked out, checking his corners. Now would be the time to go, Thomas. But he's waiting. He is playing it super patient. Going to walk out, and Shush takes him down. Another clutch. 12-2 this guy is. I do not know what the hell he has put into his cereal this morning, but good God, it is paying off.
Yeah, just constantly playing with the idea of where he could be rotating in from. That utility really comes to force Thomas into this awkward position. Even if he has that sort of positional jump, it's just about the sound cue and whether he can feel he can go for that fight. And he missed his opportunity. As soon as that smoke's down, Shush has all of the initiative, holds all the cards. But this is certainly quite a close showing. Even when Endpoint are down in the numbers, it's not often for long with the ability to bring things into those one-on-ones.
Yeah, just maybe need a little bit more in the early round, right? Don't lose a player super early, or indeed even be the one to find the opener.
But that's kind of testament to how aggressive Heroic have been getting on the CT side. You know, they've constantly been threatening this B side control, whether it's aggro through mid to potentially flank out players moving Cheetah. And now, once again, we saw Tessus at the start of this one, just making sure that the opening to B was all clear. But Endpoint have dodged out on this aggression this time over, not taking incredibly high amounts of damage. And now this is the weaker site. Max, quick on the entry. And this time, Heroic do not have the stack in place, so they have to rotate in.
He has been, bro. Like he's just taking matters into his own hands so many rounds because sometimes he has to. Big nade damage coming in. Thomas going to get finished off just out of the blind there, and he gets caught. On plant will come through, or dangerous contact play from Crucial. Shoot is just absolutely on another level, mate. This is a DM to this guy, honestly. Into the 4-on-3. We've seen how strong the retakes have been from Heroic, and they don't mind winding the clock down, forcing the mistakes out from Endpoint. But this is surely the best chance that we've had for a while on the Endpoint side of things. Max with a well-timed peek, good for one. He's backed up, but now he's alone. 1 versus 2. They're coming in from both sides, and he just cannot pin a single player down. Again, it's so damn close for Endpoint. You know, the scoreline is not reflecting how close these rounds have been so far, but Heroic proving why they are one of the world's best.
Yeah, and that's great recognition as well from Cadian when it comes to that 2-on-1. He had the AWP to try and trade things out, but then quickly switched to that rifle just to make sure that they could guarantee this trade. You see Max trying to keep him busy, but there is as soon as he swung out to refresh his favor. Actually, no, I thought Cadian had made that swap faster, but he did it a little late. Didn't matter, but you know the idea is there. Just really hard being sandwiched when you're in that 1v2. Surreal taking a large portion of damage at the start of this one, and Cadian picks him out around the smoke.
Nice find, beautiful find. However, we are indeed still in that 4-on-4, and the damage that he takes for that pick costs him. It's Max. B entry extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Had the UK scene on his back for a while, so why not continue that into the RMR, you know?
Yeah, usually flexes the big brain, but now he's got the brawn to back it up.
Still have Stown around, though, and I think that this is going to be the position that could make the difference. They've found another B-bomb plant, though, so certainly picking up in terms of the success rate. Oh, Max! Mate. Okay. Love to see it. We'll see whether they can hold on, though, of course. Crucial mission, the shot, maybe. Trying to go round as refresh with the double, though. Max, you're going to have to keep working, pal. They know exactly where he is. Going to smoke him off because, you know, they don't want to mess with that. Thomas goes down. Max will get traded out. Another 1v1 scenario. Not quite as tense this time because it's quickly traded out, but still all the way down to the wire in so many rounds. But Heroic continue their streak. 7 in a row right now.
I mean, just been so reliable, whether it's Shush or Refresh to finish off of these rounds. They're finding high multi-kill impact. You know, they're holding on to the territory that they need to as well to get these retakes underway. I mean, 15-3, 11-6, you know, one's a bit more impressive than the other, but Refresh has been holding his own and being that man to typically hold into that territory. It's a hard feat when you're just constantly getting outgunned. It's kind of limiting as well the AWP pressure that Endpoint can apply. Crucial's not gotten off to a good start, even though he's had that open hand a few times over. Looks like they're tailoring this up to be some kind of an A burst. Maybe some indecision still to be met because there hasn't been as much mid pressure this time over from Heroic. Typically when they've kind of set up outside of A, there has been some sort of early utility and a lot of sound cues that can be given up as a result of maybe some B pressure nades or the mid control utility. So they do reconsider just in case that the setup from Heroic isn't quite what they expect.
Smart moves so far. They have again, improved into finding openers and whatnot within these rounds rather than being a man down and having to rely on a 1 versus 3. Max showing a bit of presence, bit of noise. No crazy opener for him in this round. But
Not
35
yet.
seconds. Yeah, not yet. There is still time. They are trying something a little bit different here, of course, with a slow, well, late, let's say, burst onto the A bomb site. Shush holding behind. That's a great flash. They've got to deal with him, though, and no one looking his way. Quick double comes in as they line up. He will get traded, but Tessis refresh still here on the back end of the site. Looking good. Crucial out in the open. Can't get it done in the A bomb site. Kind of a no-go zone after that one, I think.
Yeah, just a really solid 2-man hold there from Heroic. If it's not Tessis at the back of this site, the fact that Shush is able to reset off of this flash and just line these two up so easily just made it so that Tessis could hold back. Of course, had refresh as well, providing a bit of support. Yeah, since the gun rounds have hit, Heroic have kind of looked untouchable. Even with these couple of close 1v1s, they're just constantly out repositioning them, and Tessis just mows them down. They wanted to go back to a fast B play, and they meet Tess's AK.
It's starting to really fall apart now. You know, it takes it out of you, doesn't it? Losing so many clutch situations. Sure, this is a half buy, but they were looking much, much better the last time that they went in for that B hit. Got a single point of damage. You know what I mean? That is a free triple kill for Tessis. KD in with a nice one as he fades away. Crucial now. The only one left on the Mac 10. Give us one. Oh, no, the timing. I'm so sorry, Crucial. I'm so sorry. Cursed him a little bit there, but Heroic hitting a flawless round. And I think this might be the turning point. Yeah, that A play into their 8th win, I think might be the turning point where it now starts to become scarily one-sided. Rather than, oh, we're nearly there, boys. You know, one round, we can break the bank because they're always surviving with one player. We can keep it going. Just give us that extra inch. Now it's starting to fall away, I think.
And it's not like they haven't been able to break into these bomb sites. They've just been losing them, the after plants after the fact. It's one of those things where because there have been so many clutches, you're kind of saying, oh, you know, surely we're going to win one at some point. But, you know, that gets you kind of, you know, you end up in this sort of lows and highs kind of scenario where you're in at these lows, and then if you win it, you know, you hit this peak, and the morale, that boost that can really spur you on to get some momentum under your belt can be a very influential factor. But then you lose and you lose and you lose, and it ends up being this rut where even if it comes down to a clutch, you might not have your players kind of best performing to their capabilities because they've so consistently lost those scenarios.
Oh, Stown burning away. Big nade damage about to come in, though. Yeah, Mirba eats that. Not very nice at all. Mighty Max as well, taking a few chunks from a molly and a nade. You know, unseen damage is always a bit annoying. Or kind of like unstoppable damage. Do you know what I mean? Where it comes in. Oh, Mirba, got to be careful. Of course, the changes to the plywood. Very dangerous. A lot of damage comes through those. He tried to drop his Molotov and didn't quite meet the mark, but cool to see him try and, you know, get those drop nades in. Very cool.
Yeah. What's really cool as well for Heroic is that they've cleared A, so they can feel more comfortable in stacking B. 4 players here for the CT side. Endpoint ground to a halt, just trying to continuously slow work the map. Molotovs are in, some smokes do meet this B site, but they have yet to actually breach in, and it's all on a timer with Shush on the flank.
Yeah, very, very scary time moving into this B-bomb site, to be honest. And they know that it's coming. They absolutely do. They've got their utility down at the perfect time. Burst flash does not work. Surreal the first to fall. In comes Shush on the backside, and he's going to get the 2-for-1. Thomas gets a double on the front, but it's all for naught. Maybe with the bomb trying to play the clutch out here, and that's a keen headshot onto the first. But again, we come a bit close. We make it a bit dicey. But it's just not happening. It's quite a chaotic game, actually. It's just Heroic finding the consistency in the crunch moments. Yeah,
they're somehow able to circumnavigate all that chaos just by constantly threatening these movements around the map. It's like I've kind of highlighted a few times, but even though these rounds have been close, it's never felt like Heroic have kind of fallen out of control as a result of the way that they're playing out some of these maybe 2vx's or 1v2s that Endpoint maybe find themselves in. So Heroic really putting on a clinic here on Ancient, and now rushing into Cheetah. Stown just cuts them down. Run through the smoke all you like. He had Tessus to back him up if things went askew as well. So there was a contingency plan here for Heroic.
Oh, nice timing. Does catch down on the quick switch. Of course, gets traded out. And it doesn't really matter at this point for me, Michael. You know, you're in this position. Yeah, damage is cool and everything, but you need rounds. Like,
yeah.
So losing those first two players kind of decides it, unless we get something absolutely unreal. Refresh, kind of an off angle here, not going to be expected at all. Easy pickup, and now just Thomas.
And I mean, this is 11 straight for Heroic. And a rather clean 11th, all on top of it. Endpoint, of course, won the pistol in the following up rounds. You know, they looked like they were keeping it light and breezy. That's how I opened up things. You know, they're kind of relaxed. And then now Heroic have kind of entered 8th gear. Shush now just shy of 20. Can end up with a 5 KD before we enter that second half. Given the way that he has been going, I actually just don't doubt that he'll get it as well. And Refresh not far behind him. I mean, they've had so many consistent performers already for Heroic that it is really a tall order. And unless they get some of these double entries from, you know, Max or Thomas alike, it's seeming like they just cannot work these early rounds. And even when those entries are coming in, it feels like it's just a little too late because of some of the positions that Heroic find themselves in.
Bit of a slower start in. We've got that mid control from Heroic here. But Endpoint, you know, they like to go for the aggression.
They're going to eat this flash too.
Oh, goodness. However, the counter flash that I think came in at exactly the same time kind of stops them. So Endpoint saving themselves a little bit. Could have been very dangerous, but not going to be the case.
Solid nade as well. Stown sitting on it like an egg. Now they back away from this mid-control fight. 50 seconds remain. Cadian has an opportunity. A head offered up, and now they can back away from this mid-control all the wiser. Endpoint still slow working the map. 40 seconds left, and they haven't really shown too much of a composition towards either site.
Late mid-control. Could work. Molotov is well placed. Great little flash to try and get him out, but it's not going to work. 4 versus 4. Mighty Max way ahead of the pack, right? They might not be expecting this as he continues the contact. Takes a lot of damage around the corner, though, as he indeed goes a bit too far, a bit too close to the Predator. Stown with a massive gap on the side of the smoke here, spotting out a good couple of bodies. Not able to find a kill, though. It's the CZ on the backside from Cadian. All right. Taking us back to 2015 when it was absolutely ridiculous. Maybe even 2014, you know, before my time. Either way, quick double. And that might just have brought the round back to where they want it. 3 versus 2 in the retake. Surreal on the low HP. They have all the time in the world. Thomas has to do a lot of the heavy lifting. Fake flash comes in. Thomas not even thwarted, but Cadian will find himself the ace, baby. 12th round as well on the board as Heroic showing, oh my goodness, indeed, why they are one of the world's best. Absolutely brilliant stuff for the 12 in a row. We'll see. Can they indeed make it 16 in a row? We'll find out after the break. All right, welcome back in. We are here, of course, moving into half number 2. Heroic, 12 in a row so far. How deep does the rabbit hole go? That's the question that I always ask in scenarios like this. Endpoint, nice pistol to kick things off in half number 1. Maybe we can see another one here.
Which pill is that? The red or the blue pill? To find out how deep the rabbit hole goes, because...
I believe it would be the red pill.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. And the blue pill is go back to everything that you knew kind of thing.
Yeah, just pretend nothing ever happened. And
Yes.
maybe that's how Endpoint will be approaching this game, because they haven't really had too much of a contest in this one. A couple of close rounds, but then Heroic really hit a stride. So that momentum coming into this T-side pistol could certainly play a factor. A smoke and a flash, primed and ready to go. But they're taking fights straight away in towards Cave and keeping Endpoint guessing. How much control do have Heroic already expressed in its early stages of this pistol? Endpoint having to play so far back in this B site.
Yeah, we were talking about it just now in the break, weren't we? And I think it's come in beautifully here. Super confident with 12 in a row. Also, you have a few individuals, right? Shush and Refresh looking real good. So
Mighty fine.
they are just going to do whatever they want. And yeah, that's expressed in the early opening stages of this round. Whether they're able to do anything with it, of course, remains to be seen. Maybe trying to block things a bit awkwardly, spam through the smoke. Ooh, nice find from Crucial, though.
All a big bamboozle.
Oh, it is. It is. It is. Look at what's happening over on the A-bomb site. Well, they're getting plucked out of the air by Thomas. Alrighty, but the damage might already be done. You know, we've got the raid boss P250 to keep them at bay. Yes, it's a man advantage for Endpoint. Bomb site, has fallen. Crucial, maybe getting a little bit overzealous before the rest of the squad are in, trying to deny the bomb plant away. Will be kind of frustrated with himself because he's given a really good chance back again to the P250 of Shush at range. As the gap closes, might become a little easier for the USPs. Great pre-fire from Surreal coming through, and the player in on the site itself, got to be dead to rights. Absolutely, but it's Cadian on the backside, and he's known for a few nasty clutches here or there. They are indeed trying to hold, trying to create space, taking a lot of damage, but it doesn't matter. They just need to body block their way in, and he can't deny it. He'll get all 3. Goodness me, those final 2 are a bit mad, but Endpoint with the 10-second defuser. Let's get it.
Yeah, they do the job of just holding him down. Just don't let him pass. Create a wall. Do anything you can to slow this man from getting us off this defuse. Because they wouldn't have another chance if they had been able to pick up that early kill. So you can see Cadian just pinned in position and then tops it all off with a nice little 3K. He's got, what, 8 kills in the past 2 rounds? Of course, finished off the last half with an ace. So he's caught up with the rest of the high performers here for Heroic. They still fall short. They do.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a bit. Just a bit. Just a tiny bit. We'll see here, dude.
Maybe this is going to be a game of CT side slim margins. Because we know Heroic certainly started off that way. Maybe this is the first piece of the puzzle. You know, we'll remain hopeful for Endpoint. Can't all be dominance. Can't all be one-sided. Surely not.
Yeah, we're meant to be a bit impartial, but you've got to back them, so to speak. A lot of AKs into this round, though. It does worry me. Contact play towards B. 3 on B. 1 away in that cubby. Which, again, with AKs in play, you know, if they get wind of that, a bit of spam, down he goes. Not going to be the case, though. They try and contact in. Doesn't really happy for them. That flash is very dodgy. That was actually their own flash just completely blinding them up. Bit of nade damage over the top, I think, traded back, but super slow on the move in here from Heroic.
Yeah, in a similar way that we were kind of talking about Endpoint going for a really late execute, not really having too many moves towards either site. Heroic now pulled a pin at about this 30-second mark. Donut under heavy contest, and Thomas has to hold it down. Yeah,
that's all he's got to do, really. He does get one, but it's buying time, but 2 very, very speedy kills. You know, you see Cadian there on your minimap, moved into Red Room, kept on going into CT spawn to cut off the rotations. Mighty Max has kind of crept in, but there's no way with an MP9 that he can contend at range. And I think they're going to have to save, you know? Like, I would probably go for this if it were me, 12-4, looking down the barrel of the game, to be honest, if they lose this round.
A blaze of glory.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. That's absolutely what I'm all about. But the smart decision, of course, is to save. Make Mr. Hender proud. And you never know what you might find. A few catch-offs here or there.
Yeah, could have actually stuck around and maybe picked up that AK, but unsure if there were people close enough to trade, and he'd rather hold on to this armor and MP9 if he could. Of course, were a couple A1Ss brought forward here for Endpoint ahead of this buy, and Max has been able to recover that one as well as get the kill to keep him alive. So it's not all doom and gloom. If they just kept those two SMGs, they don't really have any significant X factor, not something that can maybe rely on into the follow-up round. MP9 can be deadly, but with the way that Heroic are playing out the early stages of this T half, see they're taking that extra air of caution. They've been really slow about their approaches, even in that pistol. So now we'll see if those recovered weapons are enough to spur them on. Endpoint going for the force buy. They're feeling like they don't have too much wiggle room, and so they need one of these rounds.
I mean, they need something, right? Like, it is just looking dire. And I think at this point, as the general storyline of a matchup like this, it's just kind of about learning and trying to apply your best self to each individual round. I think I talked about this yesterday. It's kind of what it comes down to, especially in best of ones. You just have to look at it at winning the round. Yeah, the game kind of comes as a bonus almost, especially at a scoreline like this. I think I was talking about it more when it was super close and Fnatic had lost a couple of hard ecos, against hard ecos that ultimately swayed the game. And it's like, you just have to look at the round, what you're going to do in that, find success in that, cool, move on to the next one. Rather than, okay, if we win this, their economy is going to be destroyed, and then we might be able to win 2 or 3, then we might be able to win the next rival round. And at the moment, they're actually in with a chance into this round. So there you are. It was looking good for Heroic moving in towards A, but all of a sudden, it just falls apart. Down to refresh. It's not an impossible clutch, and with how close some of them have come, and always Heroic coming out on top of them, and he has the bomb.
Yeah, he can run B.
Not out of the question, is it? This plan is very, very doable, and he has also plenty of time, I think, to get into a decent post plant, so I can see him doing this.
It's all about whether he can find this isolated fight. Closest responder will be Max, and not going to be making this long rotation through CT spawn. I think the issue is that Surreal is very susceptible. They're doubling up, so they are in positions to trade, but it's all about timing for refresh.
Oh, good timing on the first. Speaking of, going to flash himself out here. Could be magic. Avoided, but Thomas is not able to get his gun back up. Max is a bit low. Going to go for the 10-second hold. Come on. Come on. Absolutely works. Surely Refresh has got to peek into it. He will, but it's going to be so close. Oh, Max gets the kill, but there's no time. There's no time. Heartbreak. So well read by the big brain. And he matches it up with a bit of brawn in the end. But the two do not mix. They do not find success. And Heroic will hit number 14.
Holy hell. To think he almost bluffed Refresh out of that clutch. It's like, no way he'd stick it. No shot. It's been too long. But it comes down to like those literal last few milliseconds where he has to come off it just to secure himself at least an exit. Refresh going above and beyond where he was called into that 1v3. Like you said, that initial A-side play from Heroic looked good, but then that crossfire Endpoint came out, and I don't think they're going to get a second vow of miracles. Surreal missing his opening lines with that dig. And now the A bomb site, very vulnerable. No quick donut rotation going to be available here for Endpoint. So look at Heroic. They've swarmed the site. They can get into safe plants. The smoke cuts off crucial sight lines. Looking like 15's all teed up.
Yep, certainly looks to be the case, Chief. Yeah, and they're just going to give it. Again, like I say, it comes down to playing it round by round. They're just trying to find isolated success, and then you can go back and apply that to the Movie Star game, because it kind of becomes a situation now, I think, for Endpoint where it's like, right, we don't want to go 0-5, guys. Movie Star is, as you mentioned earlier, their most doable game, and it would have been with Boros, with, absolutely. So they just need a bit to work on. And the way that they've been banning down, they have tried their absolute damnedest to get Ancient every time. So more and more and more work, therefore, to be done moving into the next game. But this one, unfortunately, 11 in a row for any caliber of team is very difficult. So I think it's going to be maybe a bit of a ride, but certainly not the comeback, right? The game now feels inevitably over.
What has there been, like 7, 8 clutches, I think, and I think 7 or so of them have gone to Heroic. It's something ridiculous like that. It's some really, really close rounds, even if it's not like a 1v1 per se, even just having a 1vx They have been really contested, but Heroic are just so confident now. They've already done the hard work. They've gone to 15. Flashes are good, though, and Kaden gets punished for some of that early aggression.
Yeah, that's maybe a bit too crazy there, Cadian. Through the fire and flames, then gets blinded, you know. Looks absolutely ridiculous as he's just caught clowning around on the B-bomb site. That's where the confidence comes in. You got 11 match points to play with. Nice angle here from Bit. Oh, he spots the shoulder. Tries to spray through. Can't find it. 5 on 4. Still in favor of Endpoint, but it all hangs in the balance.
Yeah, they'll have a quick collapse onto B. Heroic seem to be lining up for that utility, but Cave can be a heavily contested area. Endpoint could as well just run straight out as they're taking this site. Most amount of defenses over that way. They will be smoked off, but it's all about whether they try and push ahead of that. Max, the only one that can have a clear sight line, and picking off the first brings the numbers just down to 3, and he's trying to tap away at it.
Yeah, great timing onto that first. Oh, and great timing. It does end up being the team kill. He nearly finished off Stan, but surely the damage here, you know, combined HP at 28. Yeah, not going to happen. Through the smoke, down goes Refresh, and Stan's kind of like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
could hold on to the AK. Not a bad idea.
Oh, all right, he's out of there.
It's the save, though. It is the save. AK into the next. You know, with the money that he's got in the bank, it's fine, really.
Yeah, he can drop a weapon over as well. I think Cadian's the lowest man on resources, so saves more than he gains. Save. Yeah, they can get a nice little comfortable full buy in for Heroic once again. And if Cadian wants to go for his crazy lines, you know, he's telling Stan, like, give me that AK. I want to go again. I had a chance at it. The flashes. How did they know?
The timings. Just, you know,
unlucky. Man, they're so lucky.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like I was just rushing in MM style, hoping that they don't have headphones or whatever.
Yeah, and maybe just trying to keep it loose. You know, keep the spirits high. Have a few clown around rounds. Not really too clowny. You know, still some procedures in check. But if somebody wants to go for a peek, I don't know that they'll say no. It's a long way to travel here for Endpoint. They need to get 10 more in a row. Been able to claw back a couple, but spam straight through the smoke. Thomas gets punished for trying to go for the spam himself.
Yeah, that's deadly crucial, though. Is Angle going to get checked second? Nearly the double. Didn't quite get the first cleanly enough. You know, the 4-on-3, it really is doable here. Tessus and Down kind of low. Surreal inside the smoke gets perfect timing, drops the bomb as well. Yeah, I think they'll be able to recover it, but it is the information. They do seem to have left it a bit isolated.
Yeah, they're just so spread. It's hard for them to go and easily recover this, and Surreal's locking down Donut.
Oh. Flash round, staying alive. I mean, he's just buying time at the end of the day for the rotations to come in. You can see on your mini-map, right? We've got Mirbit on the backside. Surreal gets timing on the front, but there was also the support coming in from Max to guard the bomb. Nice round from Endpoint. Really well put together. Again, still need a lot more work, but these are the isolated rounds that they're looking for, of course, and they'll probably get another one off the back of it.
Mentioned earlier that this is really a win that Heroic will need to kind of take fate into their own hands, you know, be less victim to potential future matchups. Of course, this is the last couple days of play within regular group stages, and they would love to get themselves into that third place slot and secure a path to the major. Flash is brilliant. The Tech-9 running down Max, and trades can't come in quick enough. Stown flubs the Molotov, but, you know, he's done the work he needed to in terms of getting an entry.
Come on, lads. Hold it together. Here we go. Thomas at long range on the A1S. Getting pretty wide. He's taking the frags, but my guy is an eco warrior. His textbook Julies, his trademark Julies, of course. Big moment against Astralis a few days ago. We got that triple.
Yeah.
But denied this time. Still, nice 4K. And he really is. He loves a good eco round.
Yeah, I remember I kind of flamed Thomas and the boys for pulling out dualies in our regional league, and then they pulled him out in a big time clutch. So, you know, I'll take my step back. That was, of course, before the changes came out. So, you know, my opinion does change as well with updates. I'm just kidding. I still think the dualies are garbage. So
Yeah, I don't know, bro. They have like their
They have
one
their
or two
niche.
spots. It's like the XM10,
Yeah.
you know? And I think what Valve wanted to do is just get them into that niche a bit more. So where it's like, I might 50-50 the Julies, maybe I'll learn to use them or whatever, maybe not. Now it's like there's more of a reason, you know?
Hoping for a little bit of like Max Payne action. Diving
Hell
through
yeah.
windows and
Yo,
dual
add the
wielding.
dolphin dive to CS. That's what I'm saying. Oh
Hmm.
my goodness. Bullet time in CS. That would be unbelievable. Maybe not in comp, but
Yeah.
I'd go for a
Yeah, make it a
mode that has
mode.
bullet time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or crucial. He's not called across. He's going to contact in, gets the one on the left, and meanwhile, the secondary AWP of Surreal is climbing in nice and hot. He will get taken down, but not before it's a 3 versus 2. Got this lurking presence of KD. No, he's been after it all game. Chris one onto the first, and he's given an opportunity at the second. A broken spray down, though, and Mighty Max will capitalize. In-game leader on in-game leader, and it goes the way of Max. Now down to Stown. He's trying to isolate this player, but as touched on, those angles are so pesky on this map. And Endpoint, they're staying alive.
Yeah, they're staying afloat for a little while longer. Some of those early aggressive plays from Heroic are certainly going to be reconsidered. Of course, that double up coming into play, really having a larger portion of impact there for Endpoint. Kind of touched on the fact that Crucial was getting shut down at almost every opportunity on his T side AWPing. So coming online here could really, guarantee them maybe a couple more rounds. Don't know why I said guarantee. I feel like I've put myself in this position where even on this low buy, I am now beginning to sweat a little.
Well, imagine how Endpoint feel, eh?
Yeah. But if they can get Crucial online and Surreal's kind of there to supplement, then, clawing away a few more is looking increasingly likely. It doesn't feel like Endpoint have really been too far off the mark in terms of some of the fragging. They've just been so often outpositioned and outmaneuvered by this Heroic squad. And now on this pistol buy, they are just grouping up in towards A. They have a couple of smokes ready to be lined up for an execute. And we'll see if Endpoint are ready for this.
Indeed, it's going to be a test, of course. Ooh, a later flash there to get Surreal off the angle. Really well played. Great smokes here to create space for the bomb plant. And that's exactly what they get. No one going down as yet. Oh my goodness. Jump scare as Surreal peeks in towards Temple. However, the hold should be here. He says, yeah, now come the automatic weaponry to deal. And it's looking good. Stown, the only real dangerous one here in on towards the A-bomb site itself. Cadian's just got the Glock. Maybe play for a bait.
Oh my god, he's getting spammed.
Yeah, Cadian falls. Just down. It's a great angle. Does manage to find the first, but dealt with quickly. Still always nice to keep them on their toes, right? When you're coming into this next rifle round, you want to make sure they're nice and tense and on edge. But again, Endpoint bringing it closer. It's respectable, and their CT side looks really good.
That would definitely keep you on edge if you peek Temple and there's 4 players with pistols running right at you. See the light flash before the eyes of Crucial there. But they do keep it under control. Of course, that extra cash injection is always nice as well on that T side. Get every bell and whistle possible. AWP out once again for Cadian. And I imagine Heroic will, again, maybe move towards this slower control style that they started this half with. Just because this is ending up a little closer. Shush is burning alive in the Molotov. The smoke didn't extinguish it. Lands a little too late, and so it's just a full 100 damage tick down.
Well, get Gabe on the phone. Get him on the blower, mate. Huge prop, fix your game. It's a bug that's been in for years. He can't hear you, Moneybags, Mr. Moneybags out here. Mighty Max will find the trade. Keeping the man advantage. Looking good. Crucial with the reaction shot. That's a land shot. Absolutely perfect timing on it. Oh, and in comes the secondary AWP of Surreal. Cadian now the only one left. 1 versus 4. I'm saying nothing. But there is a beaming smile on my face right now. However, we'll see what Cadian can get done.
There's no way he wins this.
That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. It's the other one.
Well, yeah, surely no chance. That bomb dropped on B. Endpoint have swarmed it. Cadian does have a lot of open territory. You could see Endpoint giving him that level of respect, understanding they could reposition to a number of different spots. Talked a little bit about how that's already caught them out a couple of times. And so they will allow Cadian to save. if not for a little bit of an investigation on Max. I don't think he's going to quite pick up the scent, though. Sniffing around like a
No.
bloodhound.
Yeah, they're trying. They're trying. Oh.
Oh, time is good
Oh.
for it as well. So actually, may have picked up a scent.
Oh. Okay. Cadian able to come away with it after all that. We do have a bit more speed coming through from Thomas. They don't have a lot of cash here, so we've got to be careful. But Cadian finally falters, and they will indeed manage to take him down. Should be a buy-in. Maybe there's a little bit of a philosophy here on whether they want to go, for the best possible buy or whether they want to keep the pressure on. I'd take a pause and a half buy here, personally. Starting to get a little bit scary. But they're just going to go straight back in with another buy. It's good in terms of the rifles and the util and whatnot, but you are missing that up. You are missing bits and pieces. Meanwhile, Endpoint, absolutely everything right now.
Yeah, and it's really been a game changer that Crucial on this AWP has been able to get so much action. Same with Surreal on that secondary. We've talked about a couple of rounds over now. And since they've come into this double up, Endpoint have looked a lot firmer. We compare CT sides. They're winning far more convincingly than even Heroic were on their respective half.
Yeah. I can't disagree. I absolutely concur. Smoke comes in towards the door here. A little bit of utility. That's smart, because even though you might not get aggressive off the back of it, it does force a response from Heroic with their limited utility. They've not even moved into a site. No more Molotovs. Only 2 flashes remaining. And they're going to use them both to get in towards Cheetah. So it's got to be B, surely. Otherwise, you are dangerously dry moving forwards. And even then, Endpoint just not giving them anything.
Yeah, only smokes. That's all you got. So these double ops are gonna kind of have a field day, so long as they have sightlines contained. Oh, the advancement into cave does leave you a little nervous here for Endpoint. The bounce on the Molotov, though, Stown getting flushed out, so one of those smokes already gone.
All to play for. Potentially the end of the game. Oh, maybe.
Yeah, this is a nervous one.
In.
Oh my
they
god.
Keep on moving. They're on top of each other, and he manages to get the drop. He gets a second out of it as well. Oh my god. That is probably, in a game of clutches, one of the luckiest moments that we've seen. 5-on-2, and not a single point of damage has been done to the Endpoint boys here. Refresh and Cadian, both having pretty good games. It might just be a bit too much to ask, and I think Refresh taking that bomb out of there is indeed going to move to save. Cadian should be able to do the same. Yeah, looking good here for them. Oh, and a couple of drops. That's always nice.
Man, you've got to be kidding me with a round like that.
I know, bro. What the hell is this from Irbit?
Honestly. They're just sitting there, just hanging out.
Wait a minute. It's like when maybe you're like silver or whatever and you forget which team you're on.
I mean, we've seen that play happen before as well. I think on like Overpass is one that sticks out in my mind. I can't remember what game it was, but yeah, for them to be so close and them not really realize is quite comical. Crucial once again chiming in with that AWP, and Max locking things down, and Cheetah does go traded eventually. So they have this man advantage now. Heroic aren't exactly committed to a full buy, of course, saving that rifle over. Mirabit's under a lot of pressure, though. 3 players coming his way.
Yeah, this is going to be dangerous. Tessus takes him down very quickly indeed. 3 versus 3. Oh, starting to tingle a little bit. It is getting dangerous. Nice spam damage coming through. No kills as yet on the retake. Another refresh smoke on this right-hand side if you're looking at it from the T perspective. And they certainly will be. Heroic feel like they could do this. Retake smokes coming over the top. 2 AWPs at this close of a range. Oh, it's scary. It is scary. They've spotted out Stown. He's trying to spam away as the smoke goes down. Surreal will take him out quickly, and now it is just Tessus. He's got the lineup on the bomb. The smoke, though, keeping him at bay, and that's the wrong target. He thinks that's the defuser, but it's not. He's so close to finding a couple of more kills here, but it's just not going to happen. Endpoint in the crunch, getting it done, moving up to 12, and I think, yeah, a timeout coming in, but maybe a bit late to stop this monster.
when they thought, we were kind of saying they were so confident as well when they had that big lead ahead of them. And now Endpoint have really started to chomp at their heels. It's brought within 3 rounds. So finally, yeah, this timeout being called here from Heroic as they're seeing the possibility of this one slipping. It would have to be forced into an overtime, but I love that you're able to kind of point that out as well. The fact that the Tessus went for that spam and he kills a player through the smoke. He thinks that's his job done. He got them off the defuse, but that could be some of the value of kind of stacking up alongside that diffuser. It just adds this extra level of misdirection. And Endpoint are getting so much closer to making this doable. Again, this CT side has actually looked more well put together than I think even Heroics. These holds have been more successful preventing some of these post plants from getting out of their hair. But the fact that they were in this hole so early was really the big test about this half.
It does make a lot of sense to me, to be fair, right? When you're going to work on something, you work on one of your best fundamental core maps. Cool. And then you work on the CT side of it because it's a little bit easier to get rolling, right? And that's exactly what we're seeing here. High hopes for the next game. If they can nick this away. Oh, he said it. He said it, hasn't he? Heroic, though. World-class team, as we all know.
Unlosable
and of course,
lead.
As we all know, yeah. Nice little timeout to work with. Should give them the spurt of energy that they need here. The second wind that, in reality, they shouldn't have needed, but they now find themselves indeed doing so. About to be a bloodbath, isn't it? Nade does 1 damage to Tessus, 10 to Stan. Always disappointing. We'll see here moving forwards what the options are for Heroic. Not looking too good here. There's only 35 seconds left. Seems to be building up from nowhere, and very little map control. Mighty Mac's going to go for the late aggression. He's going for it. Dry. Too many targets on the second, and well, the trades now start to come in. It's fallen apart. The aggression was so well timed, but the execution just not there. The intangibles, of course, getting in their way, and it's down to Thomas. It's down to Surreal to clutch up against 4. Surely not.
Oh, they get themselves off the initial plant. There was another chance to kind of spam that planter down, but they missed out on that opportunity. Thomas right behind that spoke down, trying to spam right back. This 2-on-4 is so difficult here for Endpoint. Stan ain't messing around. He ain't waiting, but Thomas finds the kill they need to. Smoke down as well, so those 2 players in cave are cut off.
There's a smoke for the bomb. I think it's just landed towards the ramp. Thomas going to tap. Flash comes over. They've got to make the move. Could have held this, of course, but that's the nature of the beast. Tessus with the patience pays off. All onto Surreal. He knows there's another one in towards ramp. Can't land the quick scope, and that's going to be it. A valiant effort from Endpoint, but of course the outcome I think that we were all expecting after that first half.